Today's my day to make my video, and this is what I have to deal with. Well, I'm just going to have to make the best of it. Testimonial videos can be a powerful way to give credibility to you as a business owner and viability to your product or service, but they can also be used to create powerful video marketing campaigns. In this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare to get a great testimonial video and how to use it to make some powerful video marketing campaigns. This is Video Marketing Mastery. My name is Heather Parady, and my good friend Ed Squire asked me to do a video testimonial for him. So I've really enjoyed getting to know Ed over the last few years, and he's got a really great business. I've enjoyed doing business with his business. No, hold on, cut. Again. Hello, my name is Heather Parady. Thank you. Okay. So most video testimonials are probably not going to be that bad. And to redeem my poor friend, Heather Parady, I did ask her to give me a video testimonial last year for my nonprofit.
Hi there, my name is Heather Parady.
And that will be one of the videos I play for you at the end. The video testimonials that you ask for from people, or even if you're in person to film them yourself, when you put them out there, you're going to be judged by people that are looking at your website and wondering if they want to do business with you or not. So it's really important that you really understand how to put a good video testimonial together. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ed Squire. This is Video Marketing Mastery. I created this channel to help online business owners create branded video content to help them increase their click-through rates, expand their businesses, and get overall more revenue and grow and scale what they're doing in their enterprise. I spent 20 to 25 years in corporate America as a senior consultant working for global companies like the Boeing Corporation, Wells Fargo, Pepsi-Cola Global. I worked in Europe for pharmaceutical companies and airlines, and I learned a lot during that time. And one of them was I didn't want to do it anymore. And another one was once I quit that career, I got into video and photography, and a lot of people have asked me for the last 5 years to create videos for them and do photography. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take all the experience I have, put it together, and help people create branded video content to grow their businesses, because video is the #1 medium that can grow your business than anything else that's out there. There's going to be a lot of information in this video that's going to be very important for you to produce a very good video testimonial. So I've created a cheat sheet that you can download. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay, let's get started. There are 4 steps that you need to consider to create a powerful video testimonial. Step number 1 is to decide on the purpose of your video testimonial. You don't want to just ask someone, hey, can you make a video testimonial for me? Because they're not going to know what you're asking them to do. Sure, they're going to say, I've done business with Ed. I really like what he's doing, just like in my mock-up that we just saw. But really decide exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish. Is this a product testimonial that you're asking them to do? Did they use a product of yours that you want them to say something nice about? Is it like a character reference or something about your integrity or you as a business person and a human being? Just lending credibility to who you are to attract people to want to do business with you, because we're looking for people that we trust. Another reason could be you're launching an event. It could also be for an endorsement of some type, either an endorsement, again, for you as a person, or an endorsement for a launch that's coming up, or an event that you're doing, or a new business that you're starting. But make sure you know exactly what it is that has a purpose. Step number 2 is to make a plan. And there's 3 parts to this. The first part is to create a video outline. When you create a video, like I did for this one, you have an outline. If you're not accustomed to using an outline, or if you find yourself all over the place writing long notes and creating transcripts and trying to read off the transcripts, I highly recommend that you use my video outline. I'll include that in the description below. It'll all be like in one big cheat sheet, but the outline is just going to give you structure, and it's going to give you direction and keep you straight on knowing exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And it'll be easier for you to help your subject in creating the testimonial. Now, the second part is to write down some questions for them to answer or for them to gather their thoughts to know exactly what it is that you want from them for information. It'll be different depending on what your business is, if it's a product or a service or whatever it is that you're online selling. Here's some examples you could use. What fears do they have about buying your product or service? What process did they use to select you? How did they come to find you on the internet? Was it word of mouth? Was it from marketing that you did? What did your company do differently that helped them make their decision? How did you handle the process for them? And this is a really important question. It's a good one because people are looking for organizations and business leaders that they can trust. And so that process is something that you can use to gain their trust. And it's probably why you have this individual making a video testimonial for you in the first place. We're all turned off by cheap tricks or slick marketing campaigns. People really like it when you're authentic with them and honest. And the answer to this question can really lend that kind of credibility to you. The most important question that you could ask them to answer or articulate however is most comfortable for them is, why would they recommend you or why would they endorse you? And don't ask them if they would recommend you or they would endorse you. You don't want to leave it as a closed-ended question. You want to leave it open-ended. And the last part of making a plan is get a list of some do's and don'ts written down. Not everybody is as comfortable or familiar or good at recording video. If you're talking to someone like Heather Parady, for example, I don't have to talk to her about lighting, sound, composition, what should she wear, how long the video should be. She's a professional and she's very good at it. What she really needed from me, though, was what I just mentioned before was what was I looking for in the video testimonial? And in this case, it was an endorsement. And that's what I'll show you at the end. If people are not comfortable and they're not used to it, and I don't care if it's done on a telephone or a fancy camera, but they need to have some basic understanding as to lighting and sound. The example you saw, my funny one in the beginning, was an example of I was trying to do everything possibly wrong that you could do. But get them to try to do their best to be just mindful of what's in the background, mindful of what they're wearing. There's two ways you can ask them to deliver this. One is, if it's a short testimonial within that you want it 1 or 2 minutes, if they can do it all in one cut, that works really nice because I think it lends more credibility to the testimonial because it's not cut, which means they didn't have to stop and think or say something over again. It was all one fluid thought and expression of their testimonial for you. However, I do want to say that sometimes it's great to let them go on and tell them, make it 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or whatever you're comfortable with, and tell them, not to cut it, just leave it one big long video, because then you can use parts of that video to make different marketing campaigns out of one big cut. I always recommend keeping a video testimonial, like if you have it on your website or wherever your landing page, your main source that you're drawing people to, try to keep it in under 2 minutes. But then, like I said, you can use a lot of that content if they go on to create other smaller sound bites and pieces of content that you can use in other platforms. Also, make sure you ask your subject to make it in, if you want it in video, if you want it in horizontal or vertical. That's up to you, however you want to use that content. But another really important thing is make sure they record it in at least 720p. Anything less than that, and the quality is diminished to the point of where it's distracting to the viewer. 720 to 1080 is great. You don't necessarily need 4K. You don't need 60 frames per second, but you definitely need a high definition resolution, of which 720 is fine on a phone and on a laptop. Now, step number 3 is pretty simple because we're taking everything we did in our preparation and we're giving it to our subject. Now, depending on your subject, like I mentioned earlier, if they're experienced, you may not have to give them all this stuff. You don't want to make it a big deal for them, but you do want to make sure that you let them know what it is you're looking for. Tell them the length. Tell them if you want a horizontal, give them the questions that you've developed, and then let them run with it. That's really all there is for step number 3. Step number 4 is marketing. If you're going to get 3 or 4 testimonials, which I think is a good number, put them on your website on a testimonial page. And you can also have written testimonials as well, but you don't want to overwhelm your website with 6 to 10 video testimonials. And I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek because I've seen websites where it's page after page after page of video testimonials, and they're not curated and they're not developed as well as what I'm explaining to you in this video. I think it's much better to have 3 or 4 really powerful, well created, well-prepared, and well-executed video testimonials. The second thing you can do with marketing is absolutely use them across all of your platforms. Make sure you use them in stories if stories are available, and use them throughout the year as well. Instead of using them just once and then you don't use them again, you can repurpose them over and over again. The last tip I'll give you on that one is make sure that wherever you use it on a different platform, make sure that you edit it so it fits the native aspect of that particular platform. For example, if you're doing it on TikTok, you want to be vertical, and Instagram, you want to be vertical. If it's on YouTube or Facebook, horizontal is better. Just don't redo the exact same thing across all the platforms. Be mindful of all your postings, whether it's video or not, to make sure that it fits. Okay, if you have stuck around until the end, I'm really excited because I'm going to play 3 videos for you that I've used. They're from my nonprofit website. One is from Heather Parady. Another one is from Michael Matucci, who's a professional filmmaker. And then another one is me sitting in a Starbucks with a friend of mine who I asked to endorse my nonprofit. And I thought the sound wasn't that great, and the color quality wasn't that great. But because we sat and talked about exactly what I was looking for before we turned the camera on, she was very comfortable just giving me, it was less than a minute, about 45 seconds of just some really great words, and it works. I think the content is more important than how fancy or smooth it is. When you compare these videos, you'll see, but the quality of the video is also very important. But the reason why they're good video testimonials is because of the preparation that went into it and the focus. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi there, my name is Heather Parady. I facilitate a community called Unconventional Leaders and host a show under the same name where we tell the stories of creative leaders who are going against the grain and making an impact in this world in their own unique way. Ed has led in our community for the past couple of years, and to say that he has changed all of our lives is an understatement. I personally have learned so much by watching him lead with his heart, with his story, with his honesty, and create a sense of safety for those who might feel uncomfortable leaning into difficult conversations. He's able to do this first by leading himself and being so real about his experiences and how that's affected him, but he's also able to facilitate these conversations through the lens of curiosity and creativity, and the way that he's able to infuse even humor into his work has just been so challenging to watch. As someone who wants to create that kind of content environment themselves, I've just stood back and watched the way that he's able to effortlessly do that and how that's impacted other people's lives, and it's amazing. And it's an honor to endorse him and Me Too What Now. I wholeheartedly believe in him and his intention and his heart for people. It's unlike anyone else that I have met before or worked with. And I cannot wait to see the lives that are impacted through this next phase of Me Too What Now.
Hello, my name is Michael Matucci. I'm a transformational guide and filmmaker, and I came across the beautiful man, Ed Squire, through our mutual pursuit of truth and sharing and nourishment and recovery in the spaces of sexual abuse and sex trafficking. And I've had the pleasure to be interviewed by, as well as interview for my work, Ed. And I just find him to be such a genuine, authentic, open, raw, and real person. And gosh, I love having more people like him in the world. And I'm so appreciative of his willingness to go and share deep stuff and to bring about kindness in the world, visible kindness. What a beautiful way to devote one's energy. And I really appreciate Ed for his heart for people and for the world, and for bringing about more light on our planet, which we could use more of. So if you're considering doing something with Ed, I recommend you definitely give him a shot. He's a super guy, and I'm glad to have him in my life.
So I think the thing that is really important with the work that Ed is doing is that it's really raising awareness, because it's not just talking about the Me Too, but the what happens next. And I think for so many survivors, that's a really important thing to consider, is as you work through everything that's happened, what does that mean for your future? And I think that he's really specifically targeting helping others in that to find what works.
I hope you enjoyed those video testimonials, and I hope you enjoyed this whole thing. It was really great spending time with you, and I hope you got something out of it. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe, because I'm going to be putting up content like this every week, and the more subscriptions and likes I get, it gives me a good indication that I'm headed down the right path and giving you the content that you're looking for. Also, if you have any questions about this video, please leave them in the comments below, and I would love to see your video testimonials. One last thing. On my next video, I'm going to be creating 2 video testimonials. It's what inspired me to make this video. I'll show you the behind the scenes, and I will put into practice everything I taught you on this video, and then we'll look at the final product when it's done. So that's coming up on the next video. We'll see you then.